Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford talks to referee Michael Oliver during the Premier League match between Everton FC and Liverpool FC at Goodison Park on February 12, 2025. What Michael Oliver told Jordan Pickford moments before Everton equalizer versus Liverpool, James Tarkowski's 98th minute equalizer ensured that Everton fought back to draw 2-2 with Liverpool in the final Merseyside derby at Goodison Park before things kicked off on the field post-match. Jordan Pickford insisted Michael Oliver told him there would be an extra 2.5 minutes injury time during Everton versus Liverpool on Wednesday night, ultimately leading to James Tarkowski's dramatic late equalizer. Trailing 2-1 after Mo Salah's second-half strike had given the Premier League leaders the lead, Everton looked set to lose the final ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Instead, skipper Tarkowski's 98th-minute strike, a brutal volley slammed into Alisson's net, set Goodison Park ablaze with delight and euphoria. It sparked scenes at full time, with Curtis Jones and Abdoulaye Doucouré both shown second yellow cards and subsequent reds for their part in a post-match fracas between the two sets of players. And it also led to complaints from Liverpool boss Arne Slot, who alongside Deputy Sipke Hulshoff were sent off by Oliver for their angry demonstrations. The cop boss was furious with the additional time played on top of the initial injury time, but Pickford insists that there was no overtime played. And the England stopper discussed an interaction with Oliver regarding stoppage time being extended after a collision between Carlos Alcaraz and Jarrad Branthwaite. Speaking to TNT Sports, he said, "It was a great point. I just had anxiety at the end over VAR, just waiting to hear the decision. It was massive for the fans and massive for us. We were on 41 wins apiece, so to finish at Goodison with a point. I thought we played very well and it's important for the league. Another point on the board to keep pushing up that table. A great strike and glad it went in. We didn't give up. We kept pushing for the full 97 minutes. Some great performances out there from the lads, and I think we deserved the point in the end. It was spicy, but also some good football played. But that edge in a derby is crucial. We know what we have to give to get the fans going. It was a good game, and I think we definitely deserved a point." James Tarkowski fired home a last-gasp equalizer. He added, "When Jarrad Branthwaite and Carlos Alcaraz went down, I said the ref how long is left, and he said 97.5. And I think we scored on 97.26, so it wasn't that he played overtime. So great credit to the lads. They kept coming at us. But I think we gave as good as we got tonight, and it was definitely deserved. It's a great point, and something the fans will remember for a long time. We know it would hang over our heads and the fans' heads if Liverpool won tonight, but we managed to get a draw in the final game, which is pleasing. It's crucial for the league table, where we are and where we want to be. But we have to take the positives. We know we have to go to Anfield in a few weeks, so we have to stay grounded, keep picking up results, and keep pushing up the table." Arsenal handed worrying Bukayo Saka injury timeline as Alexander Isak stances set. The latest Arsenal news and rumors as we take a look at some of the stories doing the round at the Emirates Stadium. The weekend is almost here, which means the return of football for Arsenal after a weekend off. The Gunners' exit from the FA Cup in the third round meant that Mikel Arteta was given extra time with his squad over the last 14 days. He made the most of it by taking his team to Dubai for a warm-weather training camp. It's back to England and the Premier League this weekend, though, at Arsenal take on Leicester City at the King Power Stadium, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. The early kickoff will give Arsenal the chance to close the gap on Liverpool at the top of the table, at least until they take on Wolves at Anfield just over 24 hours later. Ahead of the game against Leicester, Arsenal have been handed a major injury blow, with Kai Havertz ruled out for the rest of the season with a hamstring injury. It leaves Arteta without a recognized striker for the rest of the campaign. It seems it's not stopped there with the injury worries. Here is a look at a couple of stories with our own thoughts included. Saka injury worry. Arsenal may have to wait another 8 weeks to welcome Bukayo Saka back to action, with the club taking precautions over his return from hamstring surgery. The Sun report that there is a reluctance to rush Saka back, especially with the injury being on his right leg, which he uses to push off for running. It's added that the winger could therefore be on the sidelines for another 8 weeks and until mid-April. The news comes just as Arsenal announced that Kai Havertz will miss the rest of the season after suffering a similar injury. The German forward is set to undergo surgery with concentration on him recovering in time for the start of next season. FL says it never rains, it pours at Arsenal. But I think the approach of not rushing Saka's recovery is the right way to go. It would be an easy thing to do after Havertz's injury to try and fast-track Saka's recovery, but the last thing Arsenal need is for him to come back and instantly be out again for the rest of the season. Even if his return date is mid-April, Saka should be available for what could be a crucial end-of-season run-in. That's when Arsenal may need him the most. Alexander Isak transfer demand. Eddie Howe is determined to keep hold of Arsenal striker target Alexander Isak beyond the summer transfer window and has sent a clear message to the club's hierarchy, according to Gibmasport. The report says that Howe believes that a sale of Isak could derail Newcastle's hopes of regularly challenging for silverware. It is added that Arsenal are concerned that they will be priced out of a move with the Magpies, insisting that only bids of £150 million plus will be considered. Isak is, however, said to be desperate to be playing Champions League football next season, something that could play into Arsenal's favor should Newcastle not qualify at the end of the current campaign. FL says a deal with Newcastle for Isak was never going to be an easy one for Arsenal in the summer. No club ever want to lose their best player and will put up a fight to either keep him or get the best price possible. Isak does feel like he would be the missing part of the puzzle for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. They will be helped if Newcastle miss out on Champions League football next season. It's a question of if they are willing to pay a huge fee that Newcastle will demand, just as they did with Declan Rice in West Ham just a couple of summers ago. Confirmed, Guardiola wants to take him from Barca. Goodbye to De Bruyne and 70 him in exchange. The Manchester manager is interested in a player highly valued in Barcelona. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City has hit rock bottom. In the Premier League, the current champions are in a disappointing 6th position, far from the top. Injuries, a lack of freshness in play, and a loss of intensity have turned City into a vulnerable team, unable to maintain the level of other seasons. In the Champions League, the situation isn't better. In the round of 16, City is on the brink of elimination after losing 2-3 at home to Real Madrid in the first leg. Guardiola no longer seems to have answers, and the team appears to be physically and mentally exhausted. Manchester City will undergo a revolution. Guardiola is already thinking about a deep reconstruction. A summer of changes is coming, and some of his stars could leave. Key players like Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne could leave. Guardiola needs to refresh the team and rejuvenate the squad, which means some of these players might pack their bags in the summer. The idea is to sell to bring in money and face a new stage with strategic signings that will make City a formidable team again. Guardiola has a target in Barcelona. In this context, one of the signings Guardiola wants to secure this summer is Fermin Lopez. According to El Nacional, the City coach has been impressed with the performance of the young Barca midfielder. His versatility and ability to play in different positions make him an ideal footballer for Guardiola's system, which seeks players with dynamism and good footwork. Fermin is in a great moment with Hansi Flick, and his growth has been meteoric. Guardiola considers him a future bet, and City would be willing to make a significant offer to convince Barca to let him go. He's untouchable. However, Barca has no intention of selling Fermin Lopez. The Blaugrana club considers him an essential piece in their project and has just renewed him until 2029. The sports management is aware of the young midfielder's talent and doesn't want to repeat past mistakes by letting a footballer of this magnitude slip away. No matter how much Guardiola insists, Barca has no doubts. Fermin is untouchable.